The International Appalachian Trail has a geological premise, and geology was well explored at the 20th anniversary meeting.
My talk tonight entails taking a one-semester graduate course in Appalachian geology and severely abridging it to a half hour, and then removing all the geological jargon I could. We've already talked about Pangea, and you folks are familiar with that. But 700 million years ago, there was another supercontinent called Rodinia. And so we actually do have a supercontinent cycle within the Earth's history. And so the Appalachians span this history here.
Geology informed several proposals for trail expansion.
This fall is one where we actually see recorded the coming in, the docking of continents moving in against the Appalachian Mountain, recorded along here. So this is really important as part of the story of the Appalachian Mountains. So I would suggest that a trail following along there is really, really important to include the story. And that means along the south here, which coincidentally halfway joins up with the southern part of New Brunswick.
Now we're connected to both Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island.
By far the most ambitious suggestion was made by Jim Hibbard.
Other avenues for future thinking. International Appalachian Trail already takes in the Caledonides, as well as the Anti-Atlas down here in Africa, but we haven't ventured into the extension of the Appalachians in the southwest. The Appalachians actually curve under the coastal plain here in the Mississippi embayment, and they pop up again in the Ouachitas, in Arkansas mainly. And that's worth looking into, the Ouachitas. And if we take this even a little further, you can find Appalachian rocks down in Texas, in the Llano Uplift, in the marathons of the Great Bend region. And finally, some geologists think that the Appalachians get truncated by a mythical fault zone, major fault zone, the Mojave-Sonora Megashear. And so you might end the IAT here in the Sonoran Desert.
In a way, the trail network tells a story.
The story of the IAT is the story of the closing of the IAT Ocean and a few other events we heard from Jim.
Don, I guess I'm burning to now to say, and it's based on your mention, Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
It's in Tennessee. It's a gateway on the western side of the Smoky Mountain National Park.
Here's the thing, guys, that Pigeon Forge doesn't know who they are. That's what I would say. You know, you have to know who you are. Why is this place fundamentally special? And if you know that, you're good to go.
At the meeting, John Calder championed the idea of geoheritage.
It's the history of our Earth. It's our inheritance. It's how we came to be here. It's how the land that we know was shaped. And I borrowed this. I came up and I talked to John Nell after his lovely presentation the other day. I said, I have to have that quote. That is so the heart of geoheritage. This quote. I love this. Bringing wisdom to all who open their hearts and their minds to listening and learning the story of geoheritage of this place and other places. I mean, that's from the Penobscot over. I would suggest for us geologists, the way that we can contribute is to start making a list of geodiversity, of geoheritage sites along the trail in all of our ones to start. Let's roll up our sleeves and start doing it. And with that starting point of geoheritage sites, you can build all sorts of good things.
In Europe, geoheritage is being promoted through a system of geoparks.
In North America, we think of a park as a gated area where you pay your admission, you go in and you tour around. Geopark doesn't necessarily like that. A geopark is just an area that has unique geology and connects people to the earth. So you have to have the goods, you have to have the geology, but you have to have the means to make it real to the people.
This is why the IAT makes sense. It's the geological story. And as Jim pointed out so eloquently, this is why we have sites on both sides of the Atlantic today. There's a story to be told. The geoheritage sites are the chapters in the story that's being told.
Hugh Barron wrapped the presentations up with a line from Scottish poet Hugh MacDermott.
What happens to us is irrelevant to the world's geology, but what happens to the world's geology is not relevant to us. We must reconcile ourselves to the story, not the story.